back to Unhallowed Metropolis, Secrets in the Sands. This is Barry, your Game Master. Let's introduce everyone and get started.
Hey everybody, it's Pedro. I'm playing Dr. Desmond Wright, the doctor of the group.
Hi, it's Sequoia, and I'm running Frankie the Undertaker.
Hello everyone, my name is Ty. I'm running Ray Callahan the Pugilist.
Hello, I'm Michael. I'm playing Dr. Everett Wright, the doctor specializing in alchemy and chemistry.
You do that. What? You said Everett Wright.
Oh,
Son.
let's start on over. Pause.
Pause. Come to father. My boy, my baby boy.
This is going into the bloopers reel. All right.
I am your father.
Hold on.
What they've done to my boy.
Look what you did to your boy.
I
All
don't
right.
have time to process that. Okay, so.
Hello, my name's Michael. I'm playing Dr. Everett Wolf, the doctor specializing in alchemy and chemistry.
Hi, this is Matt, and I'm playing Dr. Aiden Samir Carter.
Hi, this is Jill, and I'm playing Raya, the Mourner.
Okay, so last episode, the group is heading south, which is actually heading upriver, and I won't say that again. I noticed I said that in the last one like 4 times, like reiterating that fact, so everyone knew that we were going upriver, but down the continent. You guys are heading towards the temple complex at Karnak. You get down there 4 days from leaving Akhenaten. Yes? I see a pained look on Matt. Or Dr. Aiden's.
That didn't make sense to me, sorry.
Like,
aren't we... We're heading south.
but upriver.
Upriver, okay.
Right.
You
Yeah.
said downriver.
No, down the continent. South, upriver, down the continent.
I think you messed up and said down, because I
Did I?
heard downriver. And
Okay.
I was like, wait a second.
I can do that wrong,
in my
too.
head, but I suppose it was important.
So, anyway, 4th day, you guys were resting. At that point, Dr. Wright had seen his wife's apparition floating over Frankie's head. He's still uncertain what it meant and has not been able to process that because the group immediately started moving afterwards, where you guys were able to meet the new Bedouin tribe. Now, this tribe is at the edge of the Karnak temple complex. They're actually a ways away from it, but close enough that they are in some of the buildings in that area. Masuda is his name, and there's an interplay where we find out that he, though they are a little more resistant to strangers than the other Bedouin tribes you guys have come in with, a few things changed their mind. One, the polydactyly, the 6 fingers of Dr. Wolf's hand, was taken as he was some form of nobility. At least that's what Masuda has said. You guys have tried food with them, and you notice that they are very short on spices. One of the things that was considered was possibly trade deals where spice was potentially brought down to them. Also, Dr. Wolf had showed them how hyoscine works and how to inject it. A deal was cut with Billings, with a number of other things tied to it because of these different things, although the spices have not come into play yet. And they tell you where you guys can go as far as the directions. Now, one of the problems is you're in a temple complex, a monstrous temple complex, with not a consistency to anything. There's a temple built here, and then there's a temple completely different person built right next to it, built right next to another temple to yet another deity or raised pharaoh. So it then became a situation where you guys were going to have to search out to try and find what you were looking for there. On the way out, one of the things that you noticed was crocodiles in the river. We did decide that hippos were not in the river. Crocodiles were not fighting with hippos in the Nile.
Black.
But the crocodiles are farther upstream. Crocodiles are farther upriver than they've been in the past. This is not their normal areas. And crocodiles are much larger than any of you would have expected them to be. When you guys do come to the beginning of the temple complex, Dr. Wright decides that if he is not going to have a gun, a shooting weapon, he is not going to go help look. So Ray stays with him, and of course Zosser, the injured Bedouin, also stays with him. Aiden and Dr. Wolf get on the same path coming at it from 2 different directions and find one of the temples that has within it a 4x4 foot square that appears to be a depression of roughly 1 inch to 1.5 inches versus the surrounding temple itself. Dr. Wolf approaches it. He reaches out his hand, and Aiden yells, "Doctor, wait." So we start at this point. One of the other things that had happened, and everybody noticed this from one end to the other, the area has gotten uncomfortably warm. It is that part of the day where normally that would happen, but you guys, as you've gotten farther and farther from what we think of as civilization, large groups of people living together, you guys have progressively had less of the extreme heat, also less of the flying, floating grit in the wind. But the heat billows up unnaturally, and everybody is aware of that. In addition, I had mentioned that Aiden and Dr. Wolf had both put on their masks because of that floating grit. Everybody else is going to now start realizing they need to do the same thing. So everybody is masked up. So as Dr. Wolf basically reaches in, I don't even think you were reaching to touch. I think you reached forward with no idea where you were going.
No idea where we're going, but it's almost like there's the way I'm sort of just rolling is like for some reason there's this lizard part in his brain or whatever you call it, this instinct that he needs to reach out to this. He doesn't know why. He doesn't understand why.
I understand it.
Yeah, but there's this thing, and despite the warning of Dr. Wait, his hand goes to sand.
Gotcha. So you touch that inner area. So Aiden, I'm going to give you first chance to do something. Again, you feel that immediate increase in heat, the immediate increase in the wind whipping around you guys, more so than everyone else. He has reached in. What are you doing right now? Other than you just yelled, "Doctor, wait!" Seen him touch that sand. What are you doing?
I'm waiting to see what's going to happen and
All right,
get
waiting
close
is not
enough
a problem.
if I need to pull him out.
And waiting is not a problem. You are not yet in a position to do that, so you'll have to move there. Everybody, go ahead and give me initiative rolls, so we have them at least on the board.
Okay. 2d10 plus prowess.
Correct.
Does everybody define me as well?
Everybody.
Shake it up. Great.
It's great, but I'm not there.
You got legs.
I just teleport behind someone.
Nothing personal, Wolf. What?
We'll just dip into the power of Bonagal, and you could probably do that.
What do we have? Dr. Wright.
22.
Frankie.
20.
Ray.
27.
Wolf.
12.
8.
15.
Raya.
18.
18. Very good. All right, so currently I'm just dealing with Wolf and Aiden. So Wolf, you reach in. You reach to touch the sand, and the stand falls away from you. Go ahead and give me a coordination roll. If you have acrobatics, I will let you add that. Otherwise, it is going to be a straight coordination roll.
I do not. Ooh. You know, I think it's fun to fall in. That's that was double twos. A total of 7.
Are you going with 7?
I'm going to go with 7.
Okay, so Aiden, you have first chance to react. He reaches in, and it looks to you like he was reaching for that solid sand mass that was an inch and a half down. As he reaches down, you see the sand, you're fairly sure, fall away as opposed to being sucked down or rolling down somewhere. It just falls away at this point. What are you doing? He is...
I'm
Like
grabbing
the
him
floor
before
does?
he...
I'm sorry?
The floor falls away?
Yep, he is in the 4x4 foot area only, but he seems to be overleaning. He is not going to be able to keep himself out.
grabbing him before he goes.
So you are on the, so if you have him kneeling at the edge on the west corner, you are on the north corner.
Okay. I'm going to run and just tackle him before
All
he
right.
goes out.
So go ahead and give me,
I have
so
acrobatics too.
go ahead and give me then the acrobatics roll, which you're going to use as an attack. So you're going to be adding your acrobatics and your coordination to try and grapple him.
18.
So with an 18, you tackle him back up and out. So the two of you roll back, and you can now smell rot. That's the thing that you're smelling fairly heavily billowing out. But as you look back, you are also seeing dust billow up from it. and it billows up and out like something has hit ground and fired up. You can hear scrabbling and noise coming out of that hole right now. So now I'm going to hop you two into rounds. So Aiden, you will move first. You are on top of Dr. Wolf, tackled back maybe a foot and a half from that edge.
All right, getting up and looking to see what's down in that hole.
Okay, there's no bottom that you can see, even with the extreme light. Although it is overdone with there is haze, which is obscuring a bit of that light. You're not seeing bottom.
Does
but
that
you
look
can
like
hear
the
scrabble?
Does that look like the stuff that's floating in the air all the time? Like around
Yes.
Cairo and stuff?
Well, so there's two things. There is that grit that is always in the air that always kind of makes it look like the screen's been scratched.
Right.
But additionally, right now, there is some particulate in the air, white or gray or both in color. Looks ash-like. And that's what billowed up in kind of a mushroom cloud out of it when this happened.
Okay.
But you hear noises, things, skittering, scrabbling, that kind of sound moving through there.
I'm gonna try my electrical torch. Is there any? Does it go on? Are we close to a Tesla thing? Or?
So you're using it strictly as that, what do you call it? That basically a reader or a meter? No, it does not go on.
Not that. I'm using it as the flashlight.
Oh, the actual flashlight?
Yeah.
Is it only a Tesla?
It's electrical torch, and I thought electricity only works through Tesla.
Through Tesla towers, so it's
Right.
not batteries. What I'm saying, it does not come on.
Okay, so
I have one of those too, and it hasn't worked since I got here. Actually, it worked a little bit.
It did in Cairo for a short period.
I haven't forgotten about those tunnels we were in with the bug scratches.
There you go.
I will. I don't have anything to look down in there. I'm going to probably take a step back, and I'll tell Dr. Wolf here to get up, and I will just keep an eye. Like I'll draw my firearm and train it.
Okay, are you going to draw your weapon and help him up, possibly?
Yeah, I can. I'll do
All right.
that.
So moving to
I just
Dr.
wanna
Wolf,
make
will
sure-
you take his help standing
I
up?
will take his help standing. I have a question for you, Barry, because
Yeah.
I don't want to necessarily I don't want to just go off the rails on anything here. Was there? I mean, obviously there was something happened when he touched the sand because
He never got to the sand. He was
never
never
got-
able to
it just-
touch it as he
it
got
just
to the city, but
it just
dropped
fell
away.
out. Is there any weird feelings, especially since certain things have happened to him recently, of him being in this area? In what just happened?
Nothing, no twinge, no chills, anything like that.
Okay. I just want to make sure so I can at least roleplay this. Wolf's a little weirded out because he's not entirely sure why he did what he did.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets up and he's like, what happened? That's not natural, Aiden. What does Sam do that?
Not the kind I've seen. I'm gonna light my oil lamp.
All right. So
holding
you've got
the
the gun out, but you're kind of holding it at side to get the oil lamp lit. Grab out a match, light it up. So you've got the lamp lit. You are hearing that scrabbling noise. Sounds like it's getting closer, but it's kind of changing position inside the hole. Reasonable guess that whatever it is crawling up some kind of a wall or something of that sort.
Okay.
Big old centipede.
When I get that out, I'm gonna
That'd be a nice
put it
change
over
of
the
pace.
hole and look down
Okay.
into it. See
Are you, so this is important, if we have the open square, which is again roughly 4 feet by 4 feet, do you have either the lantern or your hand or both cross the line of the open space? Or are you trying from a distance to kind of angle it down? Which will
I
take
probably
both
cross,
hands?
so I'm
All
looking down into it and I want to see what's.
All right. So, because they would take both hands to realign it, because you'd have to turn it, you would have to put your gun away.
Right.
So you're just taking it and kind of leaning it in.
Yeah.
All right. So when you lean it in, you can see that there is something for, and you're seeing beetles. There is something for the beetles to climb. The walls inside are roughly 10 feet recessed, and when you look in, you make the quick calculation that it's about the size of the actual raised platform you're on. So this platform, this entire platform, appears to be sitting on an open space.
Okay.
You still do not see bottom.
All right.
Oh shit, that's deep.
Well, he's not angled straight down,
Right.
but as a side, he's not seeing bottom.
All right. How close are the beetles up
You
to
can't.
the...
So you can see them all. You can see the walls are just moving.
Okay.
You don't know where they are as far as getting up to the ceiling and moving towards the ceiling towards you.
All right, we should probably go before there's a lot of beetles coming this way.
And Dr. Wolf.
Yeah, as soon as he says the Beatles, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, because he's had those things trying to eat at him.
Absolutely.
So,
What are you doing? It's your action.
yeah.
He's told you that.
Yeah, it's like, let's go, Aiden. Come on, it's like this way. I'm gonna go the path that I know.
And so you're going to trail back the way you came in.
Yeah.
So now, are you two just turning and running, or are you backing away, watching what's happening?
I'm gonna back away until I get to like the edge of the platform, and then I'll go.
And then turn?
Yeah.
All right. So just as you're turning, you are watching blackness billow out. The beetles are coming out, and they are spreading along this floor. So
Okay.
where are you guys going? I'm not worried about a north-south. Are you running to Frankie, Raya, the camels, the water, deeper into the complex?
Wolf doesn't really know where everyone went.
Right.
So at this moment, it's best to try to head back to the camels and maybe try his best to shout that, danger.
And Aiden, are you doing anything
I'm just
different?
shouting once we're out in the open part. I'm gonna just yell, "We have beetles!"
Okay.
and get ready to climb like the side or something if I need
Okay.
to.
Do either of you have tracking?
No.
Survival.
I do.
All right. Go ahead and give me a survival roll, Aiden. So Wolf says this way, and
So that's 14.
you say no, it's this way. And are the two of you running, walking fast? They usually walk.
I think running, especially if he saw the freaking thing
Billow out.
I think
Definitely
that's run.
Okay. So at this point, then I need Frankie. So Frankie, go ahead and give me a wits perception roll.
16.
16. You hear Aiden yell, "We've got beetles." Raya, give me a wits perception roll.
They're not flying, right? They're just crawling along the
Correct.
ground.
At least at present.
19.
So you also will hear Aiden yell that. Ray, go ahead and give me a wits perception roll, and Dr. Wright, same thing.
Oh my god.
You hear Eleanor Rigby.
And 12.
A 12 and
14.
14. Neither of you guys are obviously too far away. All right, so the two of you both hear it. You have a reasonable idea, Frankie and Raya.
Real quick, it's something important for what I'm doing with Ray, so he's paying attention. I am specifically aiming for the outermost ring in multiple places. I am aiming for that.
How
Okay.
good are you at throwing those? Like, are you dead
My-
on each time?
No, God, not even close.
My point is that I am trying to get better while looking like I am trash.
Gotcha. So what he's doing is you're thinking as somebody training, go for the bullseye, and he's actually aiming at the outer rim. So he keeps sticking the outer rim.
You don't.
He would see you missing.
Yes, that's what he sees, not
Yes.
him seeing me aim for that. That's my point.
Isn't that what I just said? Did you get what I just said? That was it?
I'm not sure
Yeah, I
that
got what
Ray
you
understands what's
All right.
going on. To be
No,
perfectly honest.
exactly. Ray probably just give it
That's
crap.
the point. Okay.
All
I just see him throwing. It's like sometimes he hits the outer rim, sometimes
Yep.
he doesn't.
Excellent. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. So Frankie and Raya, and it is Frankie first. Frankie, you
You
hear them
said-
yell that we have beetles.
We have
But you don't know anything more than that. You have a reasonable idea of where they are in the complex. So, for everybody, think about these terms. The complex is a slow raise and lowering of hills that are also sand dunes. So, the complex, there might be 3 temples at exactly the same height, but because of the mound of sand that has built up in one area, it might be up the hill through Temple 1, flat through Temple 2, and down the hill through Temple 3, even though their floors are all at the same level. So it's not simply, oh, hey, there they are, 11 temples away.
This
But
would
you have an
be-
idea.
Yeah, this would be important to what I do from here. So when we divvied up this location, did we divvy it up north, south, west,
No.
east?
No, you guys just, boom, scattered.
We
Scooby-Doo
wouldn't have
style.
done. I do not think that Frankie would have done that.
Would have done that? Okay.
I think that I would have kind of strong-armed everyone into making a general plan.
So go ahead, and for me, and we're just going to, this will be a slight run back, I am going to have you do a charm roll, but I need to see if there's anything I would have you add to that.
Who am I convincing?
The group. And, you know, nobody says anything. You're like, hey, why don't we split it up into quadrants, right? Something like that. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you add your charm and your vitality. Nope, charm and willpower. I'm going to have you do charm and willpower. Those two added
Okay.
to the roll.
16?
So with a 16, I think, unless, I mean, you don't have Wright being up too, so the group is going to go in some kind of a pattern. So do you think you would have said, okay, you guys go here, tell the Egyptians to go here and here? Is that kind of the direction you would have said?
I mean, so in canvassing, you would dictate zones.
Right.
We would also dictate a central meeting point.
Okay.
And so I guess my main argument is that we would have an idea of where we were in conjunction to each other, and then also we would have a place to go to when we were done exploring.
Generally. Now,
Yeah.
here's where that breaks down. Both Wolf and Aiden successfully started finding patterns. So the idea being, and Aiden would know this better than anyone else, the idea being that the symbols that are used change throughout the ages. Aiden would be much better at than you guys, but you guys are looking for symbols that look similar, and you guys do. All of you have successfully found a symbol here. In fact, even Wright and Ray sitting where they are might have seen one, like the little bird symbol, or the little circle with the dot in the middle symbol. So you would have all seen them. What happened with these two is they specifically started finding ones that are about the same time period. Therefore, they see like 3 symbols, and they look very much the same. Like it's exactly this side, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why they got off direction for it. And potentially that may be the case with the Bedouins that are with you as well, who are also searching.
Sure, totally. I just Frankie would be going to a specific area.
All right.
That's the reason that
would you be saying or yelling anything?
I would assume everyone's doing the same thing I'm doing.
Okay.
It's the most logical, and I don't know. It's a hall that we found, like, essentially, maybe not a hall. Literally,
Sure. Yeah.
but
Yeah. You get to a high point, and you're like,
that one.
go
Yeah.
there. Everyone try and keep focused on that.
Yeah.
So Raya, what would you be doing? You have been searching. Again, same thing. And potentially with each of you, there might be one of the Bedouins, but there's no ability to communicate. You know, if there's one with you, if you decide there is, they would have heard the yell, but they, again, wouldn't know what's being said. And there's almost no communication between you. I know, Frankie, you have a couple of words, but based on those couple of words, I don't think you're going to get anything other than come. You know, follow me type of thing. So, Raya.
So I would run back towards where I hear the voices coming from.
Okay, so you're not going to the, I'm going to put quotes up, the meeting place. You're going to where you thought you heard the voices are.
Because I'm thinking that they might be in trouble.
Perfect. Go ahead and give me a tracking roll.
And
this is exactly what I thought would happen.
Yeah,
just so you know.
I totally. Frankie's just so linear.
Right, I
He
get
wouldn't
it.
Planned at all. Yeah.
the other thing that I'm doing is I'm sure that Frankie and I have like some little whistles and
We have definitely
stuff like
defined that you have that.
So I'm going to
Make
I'm not
your
actually
whistle.
doing it, but
But make your
But,
whistle.
yeah.
What whistle is it? What is Frankie supposed
Like,
to garner
find
from
me,
what you
or-
said or what you whistled?
Yeah, like follow me or find me.
Okay.
I follow.
So give me a tracking roll first. And this is you tracking back to where you heard the voice. You heard Aiden yell.
13.
So with a 13, you have an idea where you're going. And then with that, the whistle, Frankie, go ahead and give me a wits perception roll. You would be listening for it, so I'm going to say add 2 to the total roll.
19.
So 19, no problem. And the 2 of you and one of the Bedouins is with you, is just coming along and realizes no matter what's happened, I'm assuming you've drawn a sculpus. I'm guessing that the headsman's axe is held in hand, although it may not be brandished to me.
It's beetles, so probably not. I'm just going to try to step on them.
All right, got you. So the Bedouin that's with you, I'm going to say Ra is with you guys. In fact, Ra would have probably stayed with you, Frankie.
Ra's our boy.
Yep, and the 3 of you end up meeting together, but not at the, I'm going to call it the meeting place, and you do not currently see or hear Aiden or Wolf. So, Aiden, you are moving first, but I'm going to assume I'm going to have you guys together at present, so I'm going to knock you down to his initiative score. And the two of you are going. Are you leading, Wolf? Are you following? It doesn't matter if Aiden's leading. Are you following Aiden where
I'm
Aiden's
following
going?
where Aiden's going.
All right. So, Aiden, what are
Barring
you
any
doing?
unforeseen circumstances.
Where are you going to? We did create some form of a meeting place, a place where you were supposed to go if something happened.
I'm probably just gonna keep an eye on him, and like I said, looking for somewhere where I can climb up and basically try to see if I could see any of the other.
Okay, so you guys are also not going to quote unquote the meeting place. You're going to want to get to a place of higher vantage, something that you can see from.
Well, more of if a big carpet of beetles comes out, we can stand above them. They won't necessarily be able to get to us. That's my thinking.
That's how I know that we would have made a plan because no one's following it.
right, exactly. So here's my question then, because you know
Especially
the
in the
beetles
panic
climb
moment.
everything. There's really nowhere that you can move that won't be that. But getting to a vantage point where you can see them moving, if they were, would you be trying to climb one of the columns or stelae or obelisks, or would you be trying to go to a higher position of basically the built-up sand?
Well, I was more thinking maybe on this, climbing up one of the sides of the temples, but since that you make a good point about them climbing everything, I think I'll just be trying to get back to where we were all supposed to be.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a tracking roll. If not tracking, give me a survival roll.
Oh, that was fun.
Wait, these have been doing good to me.
I'll spend one of my rerolls. And I'm going to spend another one of my
Put it in
rerolls.
the pea.
13.
So with a 13, you are starting to move back. Wolf, you're following. And you guys end up crossing paths with, it would be Abrax. Yeah, it's not Bess. So you guys end up crossing paths with Abrax, and he asks you, what's happened?
Beetles.
Like the ones in the...
Yes.
He says, are they following?
There is a lot of them coming out, so we should probably get out of the area.
Well, yes, of course. He says that the winds have picked up, most definitely. Without the scream, it makes me concerned. The heat, too. And you see that he is fully garbed as if he was going to be out in the desert, so not quite a still suit, but, full coverage. He's got everything down over his head as well. I'm assuming you guys are moving to that way of dress as well. He says, well then, back to the camels?
Yes.
Okay. So, we move down. Before we get back to Ray and Dr. Wright, everybody give me a wits perception roll. Everybody give me a wits perception.
I'm going to use one of my rerolls just for...
And when you got it, don't holler it out because I need it to go in groupings based on where it's at.
First. There we go. That makes me feel a bit better.
Does everyone have theirs? So, Ray and Wright, I need you first.
Solid 11.
I've got a 20.
Okay, so not right. Ray, you will hear, not only do you hear someone scream and then grunt, you will also realize that it is Bess by voice. And you have a fairly good idea where it came from. And it sounded like, it wasn't a scream cut short, it sounded like somebody surprised by something. Okay? So the next group is Frankie and Raya.
Well, can I do anything with that information?
You will. I want to get
Okay.
everyone into position of what they're doing.
16.
13.
So with a 16, Raya, you will hear a scream, and Frankie did not hear it, but if you say, did you hear that? Frankie's going to realize, I think I did. I just didn't recognize that what it was. That's what it was with the wind. And again, the wind is whipping through here. You're getting that pattering of little bits of something, that grit hitting you on the face mask, pelting every part of your body. So lastly then is Aiden and Dr. Wolf. What do we have for scores there?
17 for Wolf.
Okay.
Had 13.
And a 13. So Dr. Wolf, you're going to realize that you've heard the noise. Aiden will not have heard it. But additionally, you also have a fairly good idea that it is Bess who just hollered out.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Wait, and I just said Abrax is with you guys,
Yes.
right? And Abrax says, did you hear it? I think it came from here, and you agree with me.
Well, I don't understand what he's saying, but I see him
He
pointing.
points,
I point
you
and,
nod and point.
I nod and I go, oh, Aiden, Bess, something's happened with Bess. We gotta help him.
All right. So now everybody has a direction who I've told. So Ray, you are first. What do you do?
Ah, shite! I knew this was gonna happen. So,
And Zosser is there as well. You can speak to him because you speak Egyptian.
Zosser, I'm gonna need you to stay here with the camels. So I'm gonna.
Yes, of course. What's wrong?
I think one of ours is in trouble. I just heard Bess cry out.
One from the other group.
Yes.
And he stands up, and he makes the grunt as he stands up. He says, "I'm Hale. I can join."
I need someone to stay, and all right, right? You better not make me regret this.
I better not make you regret what?
So I'm gonna walk to the other side of the camels, and I'm
Okay.
gonna go to his pack and I'm gonna grab one of his guns.
All right. So now let me remind you from last game. Everybody except Wolf and Wright know that all of his stuff is put together inside of his valise.
Yes.
His guns, his sword. So you're going to go to where his valise is hidden?
Yes.
Okay. So, Dr. Wright, would you watch Ray as he says, I'm going to hope,
Well,
or
if
would you just keep
I'm kind of
throwing?
hoping if I go to the other side of the camels,
That,
and
this
see
is why I'm asking.
specifics,
Would
but
you, when he says that with that threat, would you keep throwing the knife?
I'm gonna watch him. No,
All right.
I'm gonna say
So
I
go-
don't know what's happening.
All right, so go ahead. I'm going to have you, and both of you guys, don't tell me until you're both ready. Give me a shadowing roll, Ray. You're going to add 2 to your total. Dr. Wright, you're going to make a wits observation roll. When both of you decided you spent the chips you want to, and or your re-rolls. Are we there?
Yep.
Ray, what is your score?
I got a 12.
I got 15. So.
And a 15. So you see where he goes. Now, do you do the link thing, da-da-da, and you hold up the gun, or do you just grab it and run?
I walk around
Right.
to the basically back to where he is,
Okay.
and I hand him his gun.
Oh, I say, no trick here.
There is no trick.
Oh.
I cannot protect all of you with you running around with a knife. I have no idea what's going on. You can stay here, or you can come with me. Those are your options.
And Zosser is standing up, and he now draws his sword. He said, "We're expecting trouble."
So
And again, you can see that he is fighting through standing up.
I'll flick out the revolver bit, look, make sure all the bullets are in
And
there.
you spin it.
spin it so there's any sand in there that it gets off, and then click it and say, like I said before, boy, as long as I have a weapon, I'm fine to go in.
Then let's go. Come
So I'll
on.
hold my gun in one hand and the throwing knife in the other.
And you
I'll
guys
follow.
go.
So I would like to roll to see if I can. I think Ray would need to roll to remember if he remembered where everyone was going.
That I'm good with. I'm going to need an intellect roll from you.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
That's fair, but oh no. That's actually not a bad roll. Thank God.
Honestly, yeah.
So that is a 15.
You needed a 12, so you do know where roughly. Now again,
Mhm, roughly, that's-
you know roughly where you were supposed to go. That is not. Remember, I told you. You heard where he was.
Okay.
If you go to where you're supposed to go, it is not the direction you heard the yell.
Okay, well then I'm going towards the yell.
Very good.
One thing I want to point out, as I'm going along this temple, Aiden's gonna hate this, but I'm gonna take my knuckle dusters. It's just sandstone walls, right? I'm gonna
Pretty much.
I'm gonna chip a little chunk as I'm going.
All right. Now, here is my question: as you're doing this, are you at least doing your best to be respectful? Meaning, you don't find the most beautiful ornate thing and chunk it. Do you just not even look, or do you find like an open space? I mean, would you take the time?
No, I would not
to not
take the
deface? Okay.
time.
So you're chunking and running.
As much as that will bite me later, Ray does not care.
All right.
This is survival mode for him.
Dr. Wright, are you keeping up with him?
Yeah, I'll keep up with him.
All right. So then my question goes to Ray. What is your vitality?
5.
No, not roll it. What
5.
is it? Dr. Wright.
4.
4. All right. So it is difficult to keep up with him, but because it is sand, because it is moving, you're not falling that far behind. Okay. So
Wait a minute, the sand's moving?
no. You guys are moving,
Oh, it's
and
moving.
you're running in sand,
Okay, that's fine.
right? So
Just wanted to clarify.
Because
So
it did
that is
sound
gonna
like
be
the
the
sand
two
was
of you.
moving.
So it's perfect the way this lined up. So then Frankie and Raya, what are we doing? Frankie is officially first, but what are we doing?
Okay, so I think we're still heading in the direction that we heard the
If we come across the others, you might want to
doctors.
put that away.
Yeah, I believe we're still heading towards where we last heard the doctors.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
So one of the two of you, probably going to be Raya simply because she's the one, right? Raya heard better than
Yeah.
Yes.
Frankie. Then Raya, I'm going to have you go ahead and give me an intelligence roll.
Well, I forgot we heard someone else scream.
Natural science or tracking. You did what you figured. Natural science or tracking is what you will roll with.
21.
All right, so you two are moving with purpose in a direction. So
Hell yeah.
as you guys are heading, everybody is heading somewhere. Okay, everybody at the table, go ahead and give me a.
15.
Just holler them out.
15.
12.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
6.
Okay.
13.
Matthew.
12 and
13.
okay. So Raya and Frankie, and it's probably because you're closer to it. You will hear a holler out. Oh my word! Well, no! Get back! Get back! It's Billings.
We have to go save him.
Fine.
Okay, so you guys turn off of where you're going for best to go that way. All right,
Aiden and Wolf are a little more sturdy.
gotcha. So Aiden and Wolf. Now, for you two, what are you guys doing? Are you still trying to move in the direction of the voice that one of you heard?
Yeah.
Who heard it? I apologize. to somebody
Wolf.
who did.
Wolf saw
Wolf.
it.
So Wolf, go ahead and give me an intelligence roll with natural science or tracking, or it's just intelligence.
Okay, natural science then. Can I chip one of those?
No.
No.
Of course you can, Michael.
Okay.
You've caused enough trouble.
I've caused enough trouble. This is your punishment, Michael,
Crawl
for
in the
making us
sand again.
burn you to alive.
Making us burn. Yeah, it was his fault. Everybody focus on that.
That is 18.
So with an 18, so the two of you plus Ra come up the hill a bit. At which point you see
Ra.
you guys have Ra, so they have Abrax.
Yeah, right.
The two of you.
Ra's our guy.
Right. I'm gonna write. Give me a sec. I'm gonna write it down because otherwise I'm gonna screw it up over and over again.
No, I'm Dr. Wright.
All right. So the two of you will come up the hill with Abrax. As you get to the top of the hill, Abrax says there, and what you can see is Bess backing up, swinging his sword at something, and as he moves back through the column, it looks like animates to you. You guys have the ability to move.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I have you guys both at 12, so the higher coordination of the two of you will go first if you care.
Shoot. Wolf doesn't have any weapons. And, well, at this moment, there is this thing of like, shit, I gotta get this man out, and there's still this thing of like, maybe I'm still immune to animate bites? I don't know. So, at least he can try to be a shield to save Bess from the animates, so he's gonna go rushing down.
What
So
did
he
you
just-
just say, Michael?
So you rush down there and, step in front of him, attack animates. I'm not sure what you're doing.
I'm trying to get, it's like, I'm gonna get in front of him so that the animates have me to try to target.
But you're not just standing there.
No.
Or what are you doing?
I get there, I like grab his shoulder and I point to the top of the hill where the rest are and like, go, and just try to shove him up that
All
way.
right. Try and get him to move.
Yeah.
Very good. Aiden, how about you? What are you going to do? You've just seen Dr. Wolf just zoom down there, and at this point, Abrax is going to do the same thing, but he goes after you. So what are you doing? At this point, you're at the higher end of the hill. You've just watched Bess come basically back out between two columns, and there are animates on him.
I haven't seen anybody else yet.
No one else yet. You haven't heard anyone else yet either.
Okay, I'm
And
just
that
gonna...
wind, that grit wind, is up perceptibly where you two are.
All right, I'm gonna cover my face.
It already is.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna follow Wolf.
All right, so the two of you are running, so all three of you are running down there. So as you're pushing Best back, the group gets together. So you're going to hear the two Egyptians talking together. Of course, Aiden, you're going to understand what they're saying, but Best is saying, I did nothing. They just came out of the sand or maybe out of the walls. And at this point, Abrax is going to look at Aiden because he understands he must know something different from everyone else. But everybody's going to start backing up. Dr. Wolf, you're pushing him to go up. Are you then turning, thinking, I'm going to be the shield?
At this point, I'm trying to get them. I'm trying to get them to move.
Very good.
So,
go ahead and give me what would be the normal thrope roll.
I succeed.
All right. Very good.
Okay.
All right. So that ends with there. We hop to the top again. Ray and Wright. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to you guys can decide who goes first in each of the instances. I'm going to put everybody together in groups. So Ray and Wright.
I'm following Ray, so I'm going to let Ray go first.
Okay. So you guys are now running in. You have a fairly good idea of where you're going.
Actually, I'll say, Ray, what are we running to?
I think Bess got hurt or something. I heard him scream out, and if one thing goes wrong, everything else is gonna fall apart.
Crap, I didn't write it down. Who heard Billings?
Me.
Just. Okay.
Well, I think Raya as well.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, our crew.
Good. All right. So, what are you two doing then?
I'm moving. Unless something.
You guys are
happens,
just running there.
We're just moving.
So
there.
go ahead and give me a tracking roll.
May I assist? Because I have good sight, and I'm looking at the ground for tracks.
You may.
I don't have tracking, so I don't have to be.
Would you allow streetwise?
Sadly, no.
Then what do you want me to roll instead?
You are just rolling in.
So then should we
Survival
swap?
would be the other one.
Oh, I don't have a tracker.
Okay.
I'm just very smart.
Int.
Oh yeah.
12.
Success?
Okay. Oh, 12 is successful.
No, I'm asking you. Do you have?
Oh.
What's yours?
Mine is 21.
All right. So you'll add one to Ray. So the two of you are like, I think it's this way, and then you're like, but when you said that, and you guys you're not ridiculous, but you guys are kind of like, well, head through these columns, and then you kind of veer again. And at this point, you are just moving into the temple complex, which you guys have not seen really yet, because as everyone kind of went over the initial sand dune to look at it, so you're seeing it for the first time. Now, one of the things I will give you guys is go ahead and give me, for both of you, a wits perception roll. You're not adding them together. Just give me a standard wits perception roll for each of you.
That sucks. 10.
16.
So with a 16, you are going to see Aiden, because you're going to know fairly easily who it is. You are going to see Aiden, Dr. Wolf, Bess, and Abrax moving up a hill that way. You realize that the place you're supposed to go for the meeting, you're pretty sure based on the description, is not that way.
Well, there they are.
And yet, with the help, you just barely see one of the moving people. They are definitely backing away from something else that's moving that is human-like, so you're guessing.
Do I have any guess about how many animates? Or can I even see the animates?
You're guessing that there might be 4 people moving towards them at this point. They are not moving. They're not moving so slow or so jerkily that this distance you're certain they're animals.
4, probably more animates.
Would you like me to stop them going after them?
Can you make that shot?
You bet I can, my boy. I'm gonna quick draw aim because I can do that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna aim for one of the moving animate's heads.
All right.
It's probably super far away, and I really don't have much confidence.
You bet I can, my boy! Man, this was a poor decision.
Are you spending an action aiming?
Yes, yeah.
A full action aiming.
You know, there
all
is
right.
a certain
Full action
amount
aiming.
of
So on
humor
your
with
second
the
hit, you're
character
going
with
to
the
shoot.
lowest
So you're going to
and the
add
character with the highest
5
hit
to the roll.
Okay, but that's
Wait.
for that.
Now, hold on. So you're going to have 5 for the roll. You're going to subtract 3 for poor visibility, minus 2 for long. No, minus 4 for extreme range. So you're only at -1, 2. You're only at -2. for this shot, which is ridiculous, but there you go. There's the
Does it
rules.
include aiming for the head?
Aiming for the head will now be at -5. Bless you.
I'm gonna use a reroll. Yeah, I want to use your dice.
Please spend a chip.
I want to spend the chip.
How important is looking cool in front of radio?
I'm gonna spend one more of my 3. 12.
So a 12 will hit because you need an
No
11 because it's
shit.
ranged.
Are you kidding me, Barry?
So for those of you that are over there, and especially Dr. Wolf, there's one that's close on you, and pap, you hear something thump behind you. The quick look, you'll notice that one of the animates by you goes down. Go ahead and put one chip back into the Now for you,
Wow.
Ray,
That was really impressive.
it was either a lucky shot or, oh my god, he really can shoot.
Well, you're definitely a lot better shooting than you are at throwing knives.
Well, we all have to start somewhere, and I wink and then I keep moving.
All right, and are you guys running that way?
We're going that way, yeah.
Okay. So for the other two of you that are now going towards Billings, go ahead and give me another. I'm going to use tracking. So go ahead and give me another tracking roll.
14.
So with a 14, you guys will come around the corner and you'll watch Billings. He is swinging basically a big stick back and forth. You're not sure where he got the stick. You're not even sure what it is. There is a larger end on it, but he's swinging it back and forth, trying to keep these things away. And you quickly know that they're animates. They're oddly desiccated, but you quickly learn that they're animates. Frankie, as you come around, my question to you is, I know Mei Ling, you had great, and I don't mean weird, I just mean you had great feelings for,
Yeah.
you had a connection. Do you have that with Billings, question 1? Because I never thought that you did, but I'll ask.
No.
Okay, but then because of the trauma that he's gone through, do you
No.
think, okay. So, I'm good with that. I'm asking for story purposes. I'm asking for a friend. So,
Zoom over to Billings. He's just
like-
like, oh.
I like how solid that. No.
so you see Billings taking this swing back and forth, keeping them away, and he seems to be holding them off, but he is not able to move out. And what you're seeing is he is walking himself towards a collection of pillars he's not going to be able to move through. He is going to back himself in the corner.
You're gonna ride home. Okay, what's true? So
It's very true.
am I close enough that I can run over there and get
Yes.
in the middle? Okay, I will put myself in harm's way for Billings.
All right, so you run over, you'll take a stance, and you are the attacker. You'll be -2 on your swing.
-2. Okay, yeah, and I'm just gonna try to chop their heads off.
Okay. So, Raya, go ahead and give me a Thanatology roll.
11.
All right, with an 11, I'm not going to give you anything. Yes.
18.
So with an 18, now that's after the minuses
-2.
for the. Okay. Well, so that to aim for the heads minus, you don't have to do it because you have the special thing.
Yeah.
All right, with an 18, yeah, you're going to strike. Go ahead and give me damage. Remember, you're adding 5 for the headshot. You're adding your vitality, and you're adding the 2d10s.
23.
23, and you lop a head off. And Billings, you can hear Billings behind you puffing, saying, "Good shot!" And he's definitely breathing
And I'm
heavy.
gonna get behind Raya.
What's that?
Get behind Raya.
Oh, you yell at him to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, of course. Where is Miss Raya? And then he notices, and he's coming your way. Now, you have actions as well, and I'm forgetting, everybody just doesn't have just one action. So you still
yeah.
have an action.
Oh, I figured the other action I was going to do is just keep moving.
Keep with
Yeah,
him.
we're
Perfect. So
just
you
right.
guys all
Yeah,
move past. Both of you have 3?
Yes.
Okay. So, Raya, what are you doing? Billings is trying to move towards you. Billings has one action.
Yeah.
So I'm moving to get in front of him for one of my actions.
Okay.
The second action, I'd like to take a headshot at one of the animates.
Very good.
We only do headshots.
Yeah, so
We
you do.
only do
We only
headshots.
do headshots. and they say we're not X-rated. So, as you're moving the same thing that Frankie did. You are moving into put yourself between. Okay, go ahead.
I'm trying to puzzle through that joke over here.
19.
19 will hit.
22.
So a 22 will also take off ahead. So go ahead and give me another Thanatology roll. Add 3 to that total. Frankie, do you have another swing that's going?
Yeah. It's another 8. It's 18.
Okay, I need damage.
7? Yeah.
13.
27. That's not going to do anything. 27, you take off another head.
Good job.
So you guys have dropped 3 of these that are moving, and it looks like there's a sparse group of them. They're not all clumped together. It's not the big walking horde of them, but you can definitely see that more are moving. And for you, Frankie, actually, you know what? I wasn't even thinking about it. Crap. You're also the Monster Hunter character. Yeah. Do you have Thanatology?
No, I don't.
All right. So in your case...
This has been a thing ongoing. Frankie doesn't know much about animates.
I can't
Except
read.
He can.
Right.
Frankie is great at lobbing their heads off. That's all he needs to know.
So Frankie, go ahead and give me an intelligence roll.
I mean, if we're being honest,
It's less about a reading side of thing, and it's more an awareness of something.
12.
A 12? Okay, so no.
I can't read.
It's not about reading.
And then for my third action, I would like to plot an escape out of this room.
Okay.
And I do have escapology, but I think that's just for handcuffs.
That's pretty much for hand stuff. Yes. Hand, legs, that kind of stuff. I didn't say hand job. What are you doing?
No, it's harking back to your last joke. Sorry.
I get it. The first action you took for your third action, which is why I was just giving you that roll, would have been to go up and interpose yourself in front of Billings. So you've done the 3.
Is he in
4.
danger again?
No, when you started.
Okay, got
And
it.
for Raya, same situation there.
out of the
You were
frying
taking-
pan into the fires is the Billings technique.
No, you haven't taken your third
I
action.
haven't taken my third
Give me your
action
third
yet.
action.
Koala bear carry him. From
So I'm taking another headshot at another animate.
Okay.
20.
So a 20 will hit.
Nice.
Damage.
We can't re-roll damage.
Can't roll damage. We did make that decision. We finally put our foot down around episode 20-something.
Past us, whack.
We did?
We did. I did.
I want it in writing.
21.
21 will take another head off. Now, Ra gets in there and is not quite as incredible as you guys,
Duh.
but with the weapon that he uses, which is a sword, he will stick one a couple of times and drop it, and then as it goes down, will slice enough through the head that you guys are fairly certain you've taken it down. So, at this point, I'm going to move to the next group, but at this point, you guys have cleared enough that you could go somewhere.
I
Where
think we should
are you
leave.
going?
Yeah, we need to get him out of here.
To the meeting zone.
Yes.
Okay. The camels are not at the meeting zone. I'm
Correct.
just throwing that out there. All right. So moving down from you guys, I'm moving next to Aiden and Wolf. Okay. All right. So at this point, Aiden and Wolf, you guys are traveling with Abrax. You guys are going to continue trying to get to where? Are you trying to get to the meeting spot? Are you still trying to find where you heard the noise? Are you going to the camels?
But what noise? The noise was Bess. We got
That's right, you
Bess.
guys-
We got Bess. We already got to Bess. We're trying to shove him away. The animates are chasing us.
Oh, that's right. You guys, so you are running. So I
Yeah.
apologize. So many things happening. So for you guys, where are you going? The meeting place, somewhere else, the camels.
As far as I was concerned, like, Wolf was just trying to get them up and, like, back to a path we recognize so we can try to either... I'm not sure exactly where we were going. Wolf's just like, we're trying to get out as far as Wolf's concerned, and Aiden had the path. We're going. He's trying to get us back. Wolf, as far as he's concerned, he's going wherever Aiden's leading, which is, at this assumption, I believe, is back to where we were so we can get back to wherever it was we were going, whether it was to the meeting point or to exit this place.
I'm going to assume for you guys it's probably the camels then.
Yeah, probably the camels.
Definitely,
because
this is not the fighting group.
Yeah, no.
All right.
This is not the fighting group.
So, as you
Wolf
guys-
is just trying to shove him along and keeps looking back, and those animates are still like.
So the animates that are following you are moving slowly. It's the ridiculous Walking Dead style thing without the speed up at any point. But they are moving inexorably towards you guys. In going back, you're going to have to change the direction because option 2 is you end up running in the general direction of where the beetles were coming out. So you guys are going to move through, but moving back at this point, again, I'm going to say to the camels for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just what we're going to try to do.
At this point, Dr. Wolf, give me another roll for holding it in. You have not had, my memory is you have not had, that you're aware of, any kind of a throat tranquilizer in many days.
I have not had any suppressants or anything like that.
Right. That's what I meant, suppressant.
Any penalties in this particular roll? Because I know that we've been having certain.
The only thing you have is the -1 because of your wounds.
Right. Let's see. I failed it by 1.
Okay. So you guys are moving. You come up to a rise. Aiden, Abrax, and Bess head over the rise. As you come up to the rise, you feel at that top. Now, the whole time you've been starting to feel the heat. The back of your mind always works like a computer.
Yeah.
So the back of your mind, you're thinking, odd. I mean, it's almost that disconnected.
Yeah.
Odd. I'm not sweating.
Yeah.
Everyone else is sweating. I'm not sweating. Well, maybe I'm a little dehydrated.
Oh.
And then it's, well, I'm not healing either. And I'm moving in this extreme heat, and my skin is not cracking, something that would happen if you were dehydrated and in such extreme heat. And just as you get to the top, the back of your mind, that lizard brain says, oh shit, it's hot. And suddenly you just stop. You go rigid at the top and collapse. I'm going to go ahead and have Aiden give me a wits perception roll. Okay, so with a 17, Aiden's going to notice Bess and Abrax are going to turn around, and you feel yourself not to the gods. You're just lifted and helped. But at this point, you are feeling something rigid happening to you. Okay? Go ahead and give me a wits perception roll.
That is an 11.
Okay, nothing. All right, Ray and Wright. You guys are continuing to move, this last I knew, in the direction where they are. So you've watched them. They've moved away from the group of animates, the now effectively 4 of them. You watch Dr. Wolf go rigid. And Dr. Wright, you would definitely see this. You see him go rigid, arms back, and he falls basically face first on the top of the hill. Aiden turns around, makes a point. The 2 Egyptians run up and grab him and are now dragging him under his arms, but he still looks rigid. He looks like he's having some kind of a grand mal seizure or something of that sort. You're uncertain what's going on. You are still at far enough distance. I mean, obviously you're not going to distance diagnose, but you're still at far enough distance that it could be just the way he's standing.
I'm going to jump to conclusions and say, good God, Ray, it could be starting.
What could be starting?
Well, either something bad is happening, normal bad to Dr. Wolf, or he is starting a transformation. We need to go quickly.
Okay.
I'm jumping to assumption. Let's go.
So the 2
one thing I need to clarify, because I've been seriously confused throughout the entire scenes.
No problem.
Are we in a building or are we in the city?
So what you are in is a collection of temples. So think city,
Okay.
but think that every building in the city has contiguous walls with every other building in the city, and there are not walls but columns. So
Okay.
if you're thinking just like all the blocks, so here is a temple, here is, you're running through these different temples that have been moved. Every once in a while, there's a set of stairs maybe that go down for 5 to 10 feet, right back into somebody else's temples. Some of these temples are fairly small, maybe 40, 50 feet total, but some of these temples are massive. Again, remember that there's one of the temples you can fit the entire Cathedral of Notre Dame inside. So some of them are just huge. So you're running basically distances over the top of this reasonably even, I mean, there's some hills to it, but this reasonably even level of temples. Some temples are higher, some temples are lower. You also have sand that's billowed through it.
Yes,
So
of course.
I would think in terms of a ruined city is
Okay.
probably the easiest way to explain it. But urban sprawl.
So is there any way for me to pick up the pace and leave?
You will
Right?
leave right in the dust. So
Wait, hold up. I have a problem with that. In the dust, we have 1 vitality difference.
he's running on sand.
I know, but I'm just...
No.
Oh, you mean like literally. Okay.
Right, literally.
I'm like, I want to make it clear that I'm fit.
Do you have acrobatics?
I do have acrobatics.
So go ahead and give me an acrobatics roll with coordination.
It's got Chico, and this is where it comes from.
Oh wait, did you say add coordination?
Yep.
Well,
Oh, okay. That's a 26.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Dr. Wright, go ahead and give me a roll. I know you don't have acrobatics.
27. What? No, I have acrobatics.
Do you really?
I have a 3 in acrobatics.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me your acrobatics and coordination.
I wish I crit. That'd be no, I got a 16.
So you are falling behind, and you are falling. So again, there's grit flying through the air here. You guys have, the heat has increased, so you are running in a full face mask. I'm assuming that you put on some level of your garb, each of you. He's running in a full English face mask with the gas mask aspects. You at least have the, I'm going to call it Egyptian garb, so it's a little easier to move and run in. But his longer legs, his ability to, just the simple fact that he's younger than you, he does outdistance you.
And
quickly.
I've lived here for 8 years,
Yep.
so
where are
I'm
you running to? Like away?
He's running towards the 4. He's running to Aiden, Wolf, Bess, and Abrax.
I want it clear though, if you look back, I have great running form. You have never seen me run like this.
I was a steeplechaser.
I'm
in-
talking.
It's
And
amazing.
also-
It's amazing that he's doing so well without his cane
Yes.
or any medicine that he
Of
was
any
apparently
sort that he
setting
wants to
that he
wear.
needed for his leg.
Okay.
I suppose I should have given you some meth too. I'm sorry.
Or honestly, I would have settled for extra bullets, but we're not going to talk about that.
Bullets, meth, weighing. All right. So we will now move to Raya and Frankie. So you have Billings with you. You have Raw with you. You've gotten Billings at least away from the Animus and not walking himself into some form of a corner. Where are you guys going?
To the
I'll
meeting. Oh,
I'll provide you cover. Get them back to the meeting point.
So
Okay,
you
yeah.
guys are moving towards the meeting point.
I will take Billings by the arm and run with him.
Okay. So at this point, Raw is, you can see he's uncertain what he's supposed to do.
I'm gonna tell him
Yep.
with my.
With your Egyptian
extraordinarily
words.
in-depth Egyptian.
I'm gonna say, move, thank you, and then point.
And he nods. I mean, you see the words. The words make some sense because you're pointing where Raya is going.
No, Raya's taking up the back. I thought.
Yeah, I'm taking up
I'm
the
taking
back.
the lead. Raya's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you were staying behind.
No.
Okay. Raya's taking the back. So who's grabbed? Let me start over. Who grabbed Billings?
Me.
You've grabbed Billings. You are in the lead. Then Ra is not confused because all of you are. I thought you had stayed back. So everybody is moving away.
Yeah.
Raya, are you turned to watch the animates?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a wits perception roll.
14.
Okay. You are starting to back away. Your quick look back at the animates that are following you, and the ones that are following you are moving quickly. We're not, again, not World War Z, but they are not shamblers. You know these to be, and this is what I kept having you roll Thanatology. You know these to be Raveners. These, in theory, the way they're moving, you would assume that they are newly dead, assuming that you were in London. So as newly dead, they have the sinews are still working, the muscle still fires. They are moving quickly towards you. You are easily able to outpace them. But if you go to any length of time, you will slow down. They will not. You know this historically. So as you're watching, as they're coming out, your estimate is maybe 7 or 8, and suddenly the back two just drop. You have no idea why. It's just you kind of watching and continuing. But you see, I'm going to say you see 8 coming at you, and the next time you look back, 2 of the heads just not fall off, but 2 of the heads drop out of the running, and you now see 6 following you.
Like they sink back into the sand?
You're not sure. You would have to stop running to try and have a chance at that. But that is your visualization, is you have the group going, and suddenly 2 of them are not in that group.
Okay.
All right? So the 2 of you continue. You guys will make it to the meeting place, and you're going to have outdistanced them enough that you've got the ability to make a decision here where you can think for a moment. The others are not here. Both of you give me a wits perception.
15.
15.
9.
Okay, so Frankie, at this point you've got Billings, and my thought is you're thinking, not I love Billings, but I don't want him to die. So you're thinking, we need to get out of here. We need to figure out what the hell we're doing. And you see just at the far end, you will see the group of 4, plus you can see that Ray, because he's pretty obvious, and Wright, because you've been around him so long so you know his gait. The 2 of them are catching up with them, and they look like they're all heading towards the camels, right?
Allegedly, yeah.
So we're just missing Cal and Marood.
Yes. You have not seen Calamaru through any of this.
I trust them to be able to take care of themselves. So I'm going to say I think we should go back to the camels and see the others.
Okay.
And everyone now is moving towards the camels.
Correct.
Okay. So I'm going to give you guys both one chance. I want a wits perception roll.
16.
12.
Okay. With a 16, Frankie, you are going to see a similar thing that happened. Coming down the hill, you're seeing maybe 14 or 15 of the ones that were moving behind you. Again, they're moving with a pretty constant gait, and it's fast. You fought these before. These things are still in pretty good shape. The muscles are stronger. The muscles are fresher. You'll see as they come down a small slope and then come up, 3 of them come up the hill, and then the body disappears from moving. The rest keep moving as if whatever's like it looks like they've dropped into the earth or backwards down the hill, but no explanation why, except that what you see is kind of a jerk and then out.
Sandworm. Okay.
I know.
I thought that's what you were putting down.
It's okay.
Okay.
I love the fact that you guys are trying to outthink it. That's perfect.
All
So,
right,
are
so-
you guys moving to the camels?
Yes.
Yes.
And Frankie does think, he's thinking about the bugs. Is
Okay.
there a path we can take where there's more flooring?
You guys have not done enough searching of this area to have that
Okay.
answer.
Then we just gotta go for it.
Yes.
Okay, so I would like everybody to go ahead and give me a coordination roll. You need to be 11 or higher. That's all that matters.
I don't think I'm rolling anything.
No, you're not.
Okay, yeah, no, I got it. 14.
20.
I've got it with an 11.
16.
So everybody has the roll. Dr. Wolf is now out. And you'll notice that as they're dragging him, that rigidity hasn't relaxed. That rigidity has not relaxed. As you guys are dragging him, you're basically dragging him with his feet. I'm assuming Frankie would slip in and grab Wolf, taking it off of somebody who's weaker so you can move quicker.
Yeah, totally.
So you get back to the camels. As you guys come around, kind of down the hill and around the standing up pieces of stone and small columns, you guys will notice Cal has blood down left shoulder and down his arm. Marood has 3 splashes, and the 2 of you, both Raya and Frankie, and Ray would unequivocally know it's a spray of blood, has 3 sprays of blood across his front chest. He also has blood on his face, but looks like it very much could be part of that spray. They are unhooking camels. They are untying camels and pulling them together. When they see the group coming as a mass, Cal says, "Hurry, we already have Zosser up," and you will see that Zosser is already in. I think we have him in the Billings.
I believe so. Yeah.
I believe we have him in the Billings. I think we allowed Dr. Wright to be completely unfettered. So, Frankie is going to be the one, well, both of you guys. I want the 2 of you to go ahead and give me a wits observation roll. Dr. Wright, I'm going to have you make a shadowing roll that you are adding 6 to. Do not announce yours until the other 2 have said they've finished their rolls.
13.
13, going with the 13.
Yeah.
15.
15, going with 15. What do you have?
17.
Okay. So, is anybody doing anything other than trying to mount and get the hell out of here?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm making sure that Billings is on the camel with me.
Okay, so
Because
you
he
got
rode in with
Billings
me.
up. Everybody is mounted up. There's no noises. There's not the hissing of them getting closer. Except we have Dr. Wolf. So Dr. Wolf is out. As you
Yeah,
guys are getting there, you guys know,
I rode with him here,
right?
so I'll just bring
So
him
you
in.
just grab
Yeah.
him and lay him over. So he's surfboard rigid right now. And you can feel the body. Well, here's the thing. You can feel the body shaking, okay? So as you pick him up and you can feel just, it's strained muscle. Everything is rigid on him.
We're gonna have to deal with that later.
So you just hold him on the camel and go.
When Cal and Marood say go, I don't question it. I know
Okay.
that they are going to be logical and balanced like I am.
What happened to the animates?
You asked the group?
Yeah, because I thought that was the whole reason Ray was following that group, is because they were being chased by animates.
They were. You guys outdistanced them. So those were older, slower ones. You guys have now everyone has now made it back to the camels. Yes, you were dealing with the animates, but you were moving away from them. So we mount up
That's too bad.
and ride where? Where you are at, you guys can move down to the actual river. At the river's edge, you can ride on camels very quickly. Up from the river's edge, it's not literally plodding, but it's much slower. Your options would be, that I know of, back to the Bedouin camp that you guys were at just a few moments ago, or possibly farther in. Now, farther in for you guys represents potentially the next stop.
Can Cal... we're on the camels.
Yes.
There's no engines. Can they hear me yelling?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's not noise. Camels all have their afterburners like...
Why are
the
we-
nos hump. The nos hump.
Why are we running?
So,
Cal says, we're not the only ones here, Frankie. Maybe we come back, but we do not do a bad job pronouncing this, but we do not want to cross the Novus Exercitus Day.
Wait, is that Latin?
Yep.
Is that Latin?
What is that? I want to try and know what that says.
Go ahead. Both of you may give me
Yeah.
an int roll.
It's a shame I am currently in.
Yes! Oh, I'm using a reroll. I look over at your.
I'm
sleeping
gonna roll.
body.
I'm gonna roll my Latin just to see if I would have done better.
14.
14 and
19.
19. All
Oh my
right.
God, Michael, I
So
swear.
14, Frankie, it is a corruption, so you're not certain, but you have a feeling that it is something like Soldier of God, something like that for you.
Good enough for me.
All right? In the case of Dr. Wright, it is New Army of God, and it is a corruption. And Cal does not look like Cal is waiting to have a discussion of, well, what are they?
Yeah.
Cal is like, we need to move.
No, I'll
Sounds
say
scary
yeah,
enough, I buy it.
we need to leave now.
let's head to the river's edge.
Okay?
We can ride faster there.
So you guys head down. So here's the question. Where are you going? Presently, you're at the Temple of Karnak. You have passed Luxor. Luxor is simply the city where the Bedouins that you've dealt with were at. If you cross the river, you guys can end up over at the Valley of Kings or at the Golden City of Luxor. Both are things on your list. The Valley of Kings, if I remember correctly, you are supposed to be finding the burial tomb for I.
Yes.
I was the person who followed up Tutankhamun, marrying his sister to become king of Egypt at that point.
I think we should head to the Valley of Kings. I think that we might have a chance of finding what we're looking for there.
The Tomb of I, yes.
Right.
Aiden Ray.
Gave you your damn gun back, and now you can't remember my name.
Lead the way. We need to be down here.
So as you start riding
He got
down,
what he needed from
as
me.
you start riding down to the Nile River edge, as you're riding down there, Aiden is going to let you know we've seen crocodiles. Crossing is not going to be fast or easy. There's possibility that we could find cataracts, which is basically an area where the water runs quicker, but it is much shallower. There's a chance we could find cataracts. Do we want to take the time to do that? Rather than trying to tromp across heavy Nile water with the chance of the large crocodiles. Everyone saw them, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
What's the
Oh,
alternative?
yes.
We
I'll
go
ask-
through deep water and all get eaten.
Well, there's go through deep water. Yeah, it could.
We have to look for them.
Okay, so you guys are going to ride looking for cataracts.
Yes.
Okay, just somebody, one person, give me a D10 roll.
I'll do it since I'm unconscious.
Okay.
Again.
6.
Okay, with a 6, it takes you roughly 60 minutes, about an hour, to actually find an area where it looks like it's low crossing. Cal has been conferring with Aiden and Marood. They've held back and have been talking. And Cal will get the group together and say, okay, here's my thought at this point. And now that you guys have finally stopped, there's nothing apparently chasing you, Cal is going to look at basically the surfboard that is sitting in front of you and say, has he been like that though? Doctor, shouldn't you do something?
Well, now that we have a moment, yes. And so then I'm gonna say, Frankie, bring him down. I'm gonna hop off my camel.
Or stop it.
I'm guessing I
We
need
could
to.
just balance on our camels.
Between the two.
What if he goes unrigid then?
Fine, whatever.
All right. You immediately, of course, all the Bedouins are now set up to watch the area around. Marud is definitely up looking as well. I'm assuming Ray and Raya would be the same. You guys are not, I'm not going to have you guys at the river's edge because you would not do that. Aiden would not allow you, Cal would not allow you to do that. So you guys will pull him off and medicine roll.
Medicine.
Very good.
Very. If we have a second, I want to talk to Cal.
Okay.
I'm going to use my medicine reroll for myself. And then I'm going to use my last of my rerolls. I'm like, throw him in the river. See if he floats.
He's a witch.
I really actually don't think this is. I must be.
Chip it. It's our
Chip
fault.
it.
Otherwise,
Yes.
it's going to be a real bad
It's our
doctor.
poor little
You should
Dr.
chip
Ray.
it.
My
If
boy.
I hit him with a rock.
Have we tried drowning? We have not tried. We tried fire, now water.
Choke him out, Frankie.
We tried earth with the sand.
No, earth,
Oh.
wind, and fire. Come on, it's time to bring the band back together.
Alright. Settle down.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's a good doctor and roll. That's 22.
Okay. So with a 22, I'm going to do a few other things. It's going to take you a while to do this. With a 22, you are not sure what's going on, but if somebody will bring you your valise,
Which I will ask for. I'll say, I do need my valise, please.
and so my question
And
is, does
also-
anybody bring it?
Yeah.
They will
I-
see me
Okay.
take the gun
Okay.
and hold it up and
Yep.
say, do you want to take this back or can I keep it?
Frankie, you're right there.
I'm showing you I'm not
While
in
you're thinking
trouble.
about-
Where did you get a gun?
I was given it.
By who?
Everybody
Me.
looks at Ray.
I wasn't going to say you, but... no,
I wasn't going to throw you under the camel.
As you can see, Frankie, as I told you, I don't mean any of you harm.
I heard Bess cry out, and I didn't know what to do. I wasn't just going to leave him with the camels. I didn't, and with I don't know how many animates in the city. I figured he would be more helpful with one of his weapons.
I'll take the gun, put it in the valise, and I'm gonna give the valise to Ray and say, then you're the keeper.
Okay. And Ray brings the valise over to the doctor.
Yep.
Okay. So with your medicine roll, you start pulling things out. You'll give them small shot of this, a larger shot of this. Go ahead.
One thing that I do is I look, and they just threw my stuff in there, so all my vials are kind of jumbled around.
No. The only thing that was, and I don't think anyone is that disrespectful of what you've got. The hide serum was laid in there.
Okay.
Nothing else was jumbled. Nobody dug through it. The weapons were set in there, but the way I envisioned it, you don't have everything rolling around. You have everything in slips. So everything was just wrapped around those weapons.
Perfect. As long as that's it, then yes, I will continue, take
Okay.
everything out, and do everything as I roll.
So as you're doing stuff, are you doing anything other than injecting him?
But what are you?
I am
injecting?
right there next to you, just so you know.
No, I mean, honestly, I'm just focused, because I do want to know what's happening to him. So
All right.
I'm focused on... Well,
Right. Well, there's what I was thinking too. But so you go ahead and you start hitting with stuff. The majority of things don't seem to be working. And finally, you hit him with a mixed dose. I'm going to leave it to the doctor in the RPG to have come up with it. And suddenly the rigidity just drops and he slumps, followed by a very large flatulence. So at this point, he's laying there. It is what it is.
Really?
Everything released.
Why are you flipping me off?
and
I'm not
I
the one to
raise my
describe it.
hand to high five Ray. Noise! I'm just kidding.
Why are you flipping me off? I'm not the one who described this.
But you laid
But you did.
You didn't disagree.
All right, so, and once that rigidity relaxes, you start checking him out. As you're doing this, you are thinking in these terms. It has not gotten cooler. You guys are at the heat part of the day, and you're starting to realize as you're looking around, you haven't dealt with this in quite a few days. You notice that Ray is extremely pink, very red-faced. Both the exertion and the normal heat that affects him. He's always pink. But you haven't seen him be pink like this reddened face look, in a long time. Maybe it's been 8 or 9 days even, because the way you guys have been traveling. You'll look around, you'll notice that most everybody is breathing a lot harder through their masks than you've seen. You realize the heat is up. You realize the wind has not relaxed. And you will notice, as you're kind of looking at everybody and looking down at Wolf, you'll notice Billings is not wearing his mask. Just throwing that out there for you. So, looking at
Of course
Wolf.
he's not.
Looking at Wolf, the cut on his head no longer seems to be crackling. The cut on his head seems to be softening. Could just be the fact that it's so hot that he's sweating and that moisture is doing something with it. But as you start messing with him, it appears to be more pliable. That frightening glassy look that looked like he had basically been melted and then shined, that glassy look is starting to go away as well. His skin is beginning to look like skin again.
God, it's not burning. It's
I'm just gonna start laughing.
So it's 15 minutes, and he starts to wake up. And Dr. Wolf, for you, as you wake up, it is the most restful you have felt. Now, your neck hurts, your elbows hurt, your shoulder hurts, your hips very much hurt. It feels like you've been cramped somewhere, okay? Knees hurt, ankles hurt. But beyond that, you feel good. You feel reasonably well rested. It is uncomfortably, not unbearably, but it is uncomfortably hot for you. You are starting to react like you would have expected yourself to in Egypt. And you are cognizant of where you are. Not specifically, not like, oh, hey, we're at the 11th parallel on the Nile.
Yeah.
But you realize you are with the group in Egypt. You know that you are somewhere around the Temple of Karnak or Luxor. You're cognizant and there. And I would use the words, you can choose where you go your level of melancholy, but I would use the words, you at least physically feel good for the first time in a while.
I think the thing is, especially for the first, if he feels as rested as he feels, yes, he feels achy.
Yes.
Feels the aches and stuff. But the fact that these aches, despite it, the fact that aside from these aches, he feels good, he feels rested. I think this is the first time in a long time where he's actually woken up for some reason, and he's just like, and it's going to sound very morbid in some ways, this is the first time he's felt like there's something to hope for. And that's very odd to say, but it's like the first time where it's like, wow, look at the sky is blue. And despite the fact that sky is never blue in London or anything like that, but it's just like, wow, isn't the world full of wonder? And so,
as there's heat, the wind, okay.
Yeah. Despite all that, it's just this moment. It's just this.
And there's Dr. Wright.
Yeah.
Over you.
And I'd be just staring at you, and as you wake up, you'd be like, well, Dr. Wolf, my boy, how do you feel?
Well, Dr. Wright, aside from a few aches, I think this is the best I've felt in a long time.
And that is because, and I'm gonna clap you on the shoulder, you evolved.
All right, so let's move over to Cal and Raya. So you approached Cal. Cal is at this point has taken some of the canteen water, and all of you guys are aware of being sparing with it, but has put it onto a cloth and is wiping down his left arm.
Okay, I'm gonna ask him, who is this other group that you ran into in the temple complex?
I can't tell you much. And at this point, Cal looks around. Now, my memory, did you go into the Explorer Society?
Yes.
Who did you meet in the Explorer Society? Was Cal there?
Yes.
All right, so then you're fine. So Cal will tell you, we know of them through the Explorer Society. They are not a counter group, but a group that works along the same lines. The difference being that they acquire things for personal gain, where the Explorer Society, and all of you can laugh, but where the Explorer Society works for the betterment of all humanity, the new army of God, and he'll just say it that way, the new army of God does not. I'm not certain what they're down here for, but when Marud and I were able to find this, that's when we saw them. And what Cal will show you looks an awful lot like one of the two stones from the rubbing. It is a single oblong stone. There is a recessed space in the stone. Looks like something was in there and was pried out. Maybe it was not twisted, but Cal appears to be holding at least one of those stones. Cal will say, we didn't find the other one.
It looks almost exactly like the stone from the rubbing. Did you show this to Aiden?
No, we haven't had a chance yet. At this point, I was just trying to clean myself up. And for the group, Billings, you can hear, for where you guys are, anyone that's close to where the doctor is, where the two doctors are, Billings, you can hear him coming up and he says, Frankie, did you want to fight one of those creatures?
Oh, shit.
What creatures?
I believe that one. And we'll end there. Thank you for listening to another NCRP Productions podcast. To stay on top of everything we're doing, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like us on Facebook, all at NCRP Productions. You can show your support and help us continue to produce content by joining our Patreon. We offer additional podcasts like our B-sides and have GM materials, maps, and other fun things you can discover over time. You can find our podcasts on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, and many other fine podcast sites. Just look for us at NCRP Productions. We value your thoughts, so please don't hesitate to leave us feedback or comments. And if you would like to contact us directly, you can email us at ncrpproductions@gmail.com.